All right. So for this question, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to form my points. Okay. So we have here that we have a g of t and a t. So we're used to forming points that look like this, x then y. Okay. So x is the thing you put in, y is what you get out of. So let's use this in that format. So we got t is what we're going to put in, and g of t is going to be our output. Okay, so that's how we would do this. So our points, we have 360 at 2 hours, and we have 220 at 6 hours. Okay, so our points are t. Okay, remember t is time, so that means I'm going to put the 2 first, and then 360 is my first point. And then the second one, we have 6, and that's 220 is our second point. Now we're going to use this to do our change. So this is going to be our x sub 1, y sub 1, so to speak. And this is going to be our x sub 2, y sub 2. So we can figure out what our change is. So our change is going to be 220, since this is our 2, minus 360 on the top. And on the bottom, we have to be consistent. Actually, it doesn't matter which one of these we do first. It's just that we're consistent. So I started with 220. I need to start with the 6 for the bottom, minus 2. And so what I get on the top, I get a minus 140. And then on the bottom, I get a 4. And so if you take negative 140 and divide it by 4, you're going to get a negative 35. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use that formula. Do you remember the point slope formula? So it was y minus y sub 1 equals our slope times x minus x sub 1. That's the formula, okay? So remember our g sub 2 is our y, okay? So we have that here. So I'm going to pick one of the points. I'm going to pick my y sub 2 one. So I'm going to have g of t minus 220. And that's going to be equal to a negative 35 over times t minus 6. Okay. And so then we're going to work that out. The first thing I'm going to do is I've got g of t minus 220 equals, and then I'm going to distribute this. So a negative 35t plus, because the negatives cancel out, so that 35 times 6, and that becomes 210. Now I'm going to add the 220 to both sides. So it's going to become g of t equals negative 35t. For whatever reason, my stylus isn't working right. Plus, so this is going to be 430. Now, if you want to check it, now it doesn't matter which point you use, you should get this equation should be the same. So if I do it using my other one, so g of t minus 360 equals negative 35 times t minus 2. Okay, so this would give me g of t minus 360. We're going to distribute, so we got a negative 35t plus 70. Okay, so then we would add the 360 to both sides. So then we would wind up with g of t equals negative 35t plus, so what is 360 plus 70? It's 430. So it doesn't matter which point you use, you should get the same answer. So the linear function that we're looking for is right here. It's the same in both times. Okay, so that's our format for our linear functions, given inputs and output.